When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. I ain't had time to put no makeup on today, y'all. Now I kind of see why women be, I don't go nowhere without makeup. I kind of see what they mean by that. I like my skin. Like, I don't be having like acne breakouts and stuff. But I don't like my discoloration. I'm light in some places. I'm dark in some places. It's patchy. So I don't really like that. Like, I got smooth skin, so I'm thankful for that. But you know, the other thing I don't like is my face is darker than like my hands and the rest of me. I don't know. Y'all have to, my teeth actually feel fine. Tonight is the night that I have to put in my new liners. Them liners, here's the thing, especially if you're on a schedule of once a week, putting the new liners in, you really do have to wear them 22 hours out of the day. You cannot get away with it. You can't be wearing them 19 hours and 18 hours and 16 hours and all that kind of stuff and think you're going to be able to move to that next liner, because you're not. You're not. It's going to hurt you. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to stay in your liner that you already in until you can figure out how to keep them in your mouth. After the first day or two, they're not really uncomfortable. It's what happens is I've never had traditional braces before, so I can't speak to that. But my liner experience has not been completely bad. I mean, we had a little hiccup, but thank you, Harold. It hasn't been completely bad. There's just a general soreness and uncomfortability to your teeth on a consistent basis, because now that I've moved to move them once a week, there's just a general, my teeth are tender. There's just a general, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is until it's done. Because they are moving. I mean, I got adult teeth. So they're being moved out of their space into a different space. So, you know, you got to expect some type of discomfort connected with that. But it's not completely bad. As long as I can tolerate it, it's fine. It was that intolerable pain that I couldn't. I'm like, okay, y'all got to recut them. And they did. They had to recut those liners. But other than that, I haven't been having to. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all having a sound problem? It looked like the mic is going. Y'all good? If y'all aren't If y'all are having sound problems, please refresh it for me, please. Okay. All right, so so I'm not going to keep on talking about my liners, but yeah, tonight, every Wednesday night. Thank you, Travis, for sponsoring the show. Said this is a very triggering topic that might bring back old Crimson Cure and get you demonetized. So let me donate early. Oh yeah. We gonna cook Miss Patrisse. And you know, there's a reason why we focusing on Patrisse. Because people may say, well, there are co-founders. There are co-founders. And I'm pretty sure all of them was on the same team. I'm pretty sure all of them is on the same mindset. But as we're gonna read in this article that I'm gonna share, it was Patrisse who was largely in charge of where the money went. Thank you, Dale. She is rainbow. But y'all listen, let me tell y'all something real quick. Y'all know how these rainbow chicks is. They always got a baby somewhere. They always got a baby daddy somewhere. They are not without, okay, penile support, okay? It is very rare that these chicks is running around here and ain't had no penis. They eggplant has been a part of the diet at some point. They just don't be able to hold down no men, and they be too masculine. So they be having to go to women and be masculine over there. But eggplant has been part of the diet. Don't never let none of these chicks tell you they just ain't had no eggplant. Cause that's cap. That's cap. You staunch down, you know what I'm saying, on the carpet, yet you done had a whole baby come through your system, girl, if you don't knock it off. Yeah, thank you, Village Brother. Yeah, penile support. Y'all today done had some penile support. Thank you, Ruminants. On the low, even the studs get a touch up from that. They sure do. They sure do. Don't let nobody tell you these chicks don't want no D. They be wanting the D like everybody else. They just more comfortable with the carpet. That's all. That's all. Because a man with some good D, that's a man. He ain't about to take all that masculine stuff. He don't even want to see you coming over here trying to be more man than him, girl, if you don't knock it off. Only thing he be doing with you is knock you back down to size and make you remember you a woman. And he the one with the swinging D, not you. Thank you, Dale. Say, hi, Kendra, I'm new to the channel. Your content is fantastic. Thanks for all that you do. And thank you so much. Thank you, Keith. Said, peace of respect. Time to cook up some fresh hyena meat for the day. Come get your girl. Yeah, come get y'all girl. We're going to share screen with this article. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, listen, don't let these little carpet chicks be telling y'all how they don't want no eggplants and they don't like no D and all that kind of stuff. Don't let them tell you that stuff. That's cap. That's cap. They just don't know how to be feminine enough to deal with a man full time. Cause they be so busy trying to be men. Okay. That's cap. Y'all be seeing, because it be all in the hood. I've been knew it was cap, because you see all in the hood, these chicks be together. It be a stud and it be a chick, you know, and they be together. And but the little chick that's not a stud be having like 3 kids. One of them being a stroller. Girl, you just got through getting some D about 6 months ago. Girl, if you don't knock it off. Now all of a sudden you in a long-standing lesbian relationship. Just like Niecy Nash. All on thank you, Phineas, for the collection plate. Thank you so much. And it's like Niecy Nash all on the one of them magazine covers with that stud. Now this was a chick that was just telling everybody about, you know what I'm saying, how you supposed to be giving your man top every day to keep him satisfied. Now all of a sudden you with a chick. Girl, if you don't knock it off. And you can't tell me Niecy Nash done gave up D for the rest of her life because she looked like she liked D. Matter of fact, she looked like she loved it. Like the rest of us. That woman is very rare that don't like no D. That's a rare one indeed. She very rare. Don't let no female tell you. I don't care if she a hyena or a lioness. Okay? Because when you watch them nature shows, lionesses pop that tail up too and flaunt all around that lion. She be all in front of them. She rub her tail on him. She get all under his nose. What you think she want? Them cubs ain't come from nowhere. Cause listen, let me tell you something. As a lioness, when my man was around, my tail was always popped up in his nose. You understand that? You know how a cat put their tail in your face? Get around them and get the rubbing. What's wrong with you? You know what's wrong with me. Shut up. And these so-called carpet chicks do the same stuff. Anyway, let me get on down to this article. Y'all got me clowning early, and this is not even the halfway mark. Let me go. Y'all listen. That's the other thing. These little carpet chicks don't like no man, but you constantly got a silicone version of him. Go get a flat toy since you like them so much. What you running around, you know what I'm saying, buying silicone eggplants off of Amazon for? Thought you ain't like me. Thought you ain't like D. Y'all better knock it off. Anyway, let me get to this. Let me get to this article. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this little article right here. BLM doled out millions to Patrisse Cullors' family and friends, IRS filing shows. The family and friends of BLM co-founder Patrisse Cullors reaped millions in lucrative contracts and payments from the charity after it received a windfall of cash amid nationwide protests in the summer of 2020, according to charity tax documents released Tuesday. Damon Turner, the father of Cullors' only child, raked in $969,459. That is basically $1 million, okay? From the embattled charity through his art firm Trap Heels, because you got to have some type of business where that money going so that you can try to talk to the IRS about what you're doing with it. It can't just go in a private account. Do you understand what I'm saying? BLM's Form 990 disclosure shows an LLC run by Cullors' brother Paul Cullors received $840,993, basically again $1 million, for professional security services, because again, you got to have some type of company to show the IRS. The Shalomia Bowers, a member of the BLM board of directors and a close associate to Cullors, pulled in $2 million, a hot $2 million, 2 M's, okay, $2,167,894 to his company for consulting and management services. New Impact Partners, an LLC run by the sister of BLM Operations Director Raymond Howard, received $107,000 for fundraising council activities. Are y'all understanding what's going on right now? Okay, Cullors ultimately had exclusive control over BLM, over how BLM spent its funds. I don't know if y'all can really see this as well as I'll be wanting y'all to see it. Let me see if I can magnify. Sometimes you can magnify. Anyway, I ain't gonna worry about it. Cullors ultimately had exclusive control over how BLM spent its funds, as she was the only member of the charity's board of directors from July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, the time frame covered by the Form 990 disclosures. So here's the deal. Let me come out of this for 2 seconds. Okay. Here's the deal. It's not even so much the laundering of the money. What this is shielding and sheltering money. That is what that is. That is what that is. The actions that she is taking with that money, or the actions she took with that money, is what you do with money when you get it and you don't really want to pay all the taxes on every dollar of it. So you start distributing it in other places, giving it to other people, paying, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to get rid of it, right? And that's not necessarily just the most horrible thing in the world, because if you really do have this money for this charity, you really are spending it. You're just not spending it the way she's spending it. You are supposed to spend it, though. You're not supposed to keep it. You're supposed to spend it on everything that runs that charity and everything that charity is for. That's what you spend the money on. You take the money and you spend it, and you start other charities with it, or other organizations with it, or you support organizations, or, you know what I'm saying, you support things that's going on in the community, or you help build, you see what I'm saying? Like, you could help build facilities with that money, and it's perfectly legal, because that ultimately was what the money was for. Right? So you got to spend the money. You can't just keep the money and be like, oh, we got this money, and so now in order to be good stewards of it, we're just going to keep it. No, in this case, being good stewards of money that has been donated to a charitable fund is to spend the money towards everything that the charitable funds stand for. That's what you do. Now, when you have a charity or you have a non-for-profit, the people who are working there are supposed to be salaried. You're supposed to pay the people who are running the charity. Okay? You're supposed to pay them, because presumably the running of the charity is so time consuming that you may not have time for a regular outside external job. So you're supposed to pay people who come to work and facilitate, because 1 or 2 people can't do it all. So, if you have a staff who is helping run various parts of the charity, you're supposed to pay them people. Again, this is completely legal. You're supposed to pay those people for participating. Okay? You're not supposed to try to usurp people's time for no compensation. That's not even realistic. So what you do is, you have people on staff they work X amount of time, per day or whatever. You work out how much they get paid. You may need accountants. You may need, so you're going to need people who understand how to do the taxes. You're going to need people who understand how to work the money, especially if you are a person who started something and then all of a sudden you get millions of dollars. You don't know what to do with those dollars. So you need to be able to trust people and hire people that are going to help advise you of how to properly disperse this money in a way that is both legal and morally correct. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that what you do with the funds is legal, but you also want to make sure that you are ethically and morally correct. Okay? So because you don't want to make missteps with the money and just through ignorance doing the wrong thing with it. So you don't want to do that either. Okay. And Dr. Michelle, hey, Dr. Michelle, she said, and if the funds are earmarked for a specific person or person, it has to go to that cause. Exactly. So if you get the $90 million that Black Lives Matter got, and let's say you earmark 10 million to go to a specific other foundation, or you say, okay, this is going to 3 chapters of BLM on the East Coast, so that they can run their chapter, we're going to fund that. It has to go there. Or if you say, okay, we're going to start a educational program over in this neighborhood, in this city, for the children of that city, funded by BLM, we're going to earmark $1 million in order to get that started. You have to do that. You have to actually do that. And you have to be willing and able, if called upon, if audited, to show I promised this money or pledged this money in this way, and that is what I did with it. That is exactly what I did with it. So I don't have the money. It's not somewhere stashed in a secret bank account. It went to what we said we were doing with it. And the people who got a salary got their salary. That's what they supposed to do. So then, and then we spent the rest of the money. This portion went over here. This portion went over there. This portion went over here. And what didn't happen, we have it here in the funds for BLM. It's sitting there. Sounds simple. In concept, it is simple. But what happens is people's eyes get big. People's eyes get big when the dollars go up, when the zeros pile up behind the number, when the decimal point move. You see what I'm saying? When the decimal points and the commas start moving in a certain direction, then folks' eyes get big. Okay? Because the vast majority of people have never been in charge of anything where the commas and the decimal points move that way, especially quickly. All of a sudden, you was working with a couple of tens of thousands of dollars, which is cool, but you was kind of struggling to keep your stuff going there. And then over the course of the next 8 months or the next 12 months, them zeros pile up real quick. Them commas get to really moving. It go from 5 figures to 6 to 8. And since many of us have never seen that kind of money or been in the presence of it or been in a position to have our hands on it or do anything with it at all, then we get dumb. We get dumb smart. As I'm going to finish reading in this article, you get dumb stupid. You get stupid smart. Stupid because now you're going to ruin what it is that you have, and you trying to be slick, that slick smart, where you trying to really hide the money and do what you got to do. You know, she tried to act like in another article that I read to y'all before, oh, you know, everything just caught me off guard. And I'm sure that it did. But then she started listening to whoever she started listening to that started telling her how to be slick. If you want to give your brother some money, you can't just take the money from BLM and give your brother money, because this is not your personal money. If this was coming out of your personal account and you decide, if you had millions of dollars in your personal account that didn't have anything to do with Black Lives Matter funds, and you decided to give your brother some personal money out of your personal account, ain't nobody got nothing to do with that. But what you can't do is take $1 million out of Black Lives Matter funding money and decide to just give it to your brother. Can't do that. Now, slick way. You want to be slick? You want to be slick? What you do is you tell your brother, if he don't already have a business, to create one. Create something that's on the books that he can show somebody. And then what you do is you fund the business. You don't fund him. Okay? You want to give your baby father some money? What you do is, if he don't already have some type of business, LLC, sole proprietorship, whatever it is, tell him to get one. Put it on the books, register it. Take the money, fund the business. Now you got some paperwork that's supposed to show that this is where this money went. And then what you got to do is you got to make sure or make up what it was for. Why'd you do that? And how does funding that over there jive with BLM money? How do you balance the two things? Which is why she's in trouble about those mansions. This is why the mansions are a problem. The mansions are a problem because she bought them under the guise of these are mansions that are for Black Lives Matter organization to own, in order to do podcasts from them and utilize the grounds and the building strictly for events and things of that nature that is connected to the operations of Black Lives Matter. Problem with that is that you sitting there having lunch, charcuterie with a charcuterie board on the table, you and your girls. That's the problem. Problem is you throwing birthday parties in it. And we trying to figure out what kind of Black Lives Matter event was that? See, if you're using money for business, you got to use money for business. If you're using money for personal stuff, then you got to use money for personal stuff. Anyway, this 990 shows why Cullors could no longer lead Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Tom Anderson, the director of the Government Integrity Project at the National Legal and Policy Center Watchdog Group, told the Washington Examiner. I'm sure people who donated, in some cases their rent money, to BLM didn't expect millions of dollars going to family members and close associates of Patrisse Cullors while thousands of protests were taking place. Right? Because I'll give you an example. Let me come back. Let me come back. I'll give you an example. Let's take the protests. One way that you could use BLM money and nobody's eyebrows are raised is if there's a protest going on for the next 3 days and Black Lives Matter money is used to feed and to supply drink and all of that stuff to the protesters. And over a 3-day course with hundreds of protesters, that would have ran you quite a few stacks to do that. We're going to have a 3-day protest. We're going to supply transportation for people to come to and fro. We're going to have a section of the city rented out, park, whatever. We're going to set up a sound stage. We're going to set up a platform where speakers can be so that we can actually talk about the issues that we protesting about. That's an example. Thank you, Mustafa. So I'm 69 years old. Thank you. I love your channel. I love you too, beloved. That would be an example of a proper use of the BLM funds. Right? Thank you, Ish G. So my grassroots organization received about $100K and funded other community groups doing the work. Exactly. You fund other groups. There's a lot that you actually can do with that money. There's a lot you can do. There's a whole lot you can do. It's not super limited. In the name of community activism, you can do a lot. You can feed people. You can help house people. All kinds of stuff you can do. And it costs a pretty penny to do it. All types of stuff that can be done with that money. And nobody would have batted an eyelash. Nobody. I guarantee you nobody would have looked at it funny. And the reason why Patrisse Cullors' name keeps coming up is because, as I read in the article, she was the only one in charge of how that money was spent. Excuse me. BLM even paid out $139,625 to its former executive director, Kaylee Scales, despite the fact that she didn't work for the charity during that time frame. See, this is just stupid. Kaylee Scales did not serve during the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2021, BLM reported in its Form 990. However, she did receive a severance payment for calendar year 2020 in the amount of $139,625. The terms and conditions of the arrangement are confidential. Cullors herself billed BLM $73,523 for charter flights during the year, which BLM said Cullors were paid to the charity sometime after July 2021. Charter travel for the executive director was incurred due to security threats, and during the pandemic, this travel was for organizational purposes. BLM also reported spending $5,923,811 on its mansion in LA, which was purchased with donor cash in October 2020. Cullors repaid a measly $390 for her use of the charity's mansion for her child's birthday party in March 2021. The charity also disclosed spending significant sums of money outside of the U.S. BLM doled out $8 million $24,626 in grants to organizations based in foreign countries in North America, upwards of $6 million of which is presumably related to the group's grant to BLM Canada to help fund its cash purchase of a mansion in downtown Toronto in mid-July 2021. It is not clear where BLM dispersed the remaining $2 million in foreign grants to entities in North America outside of the U.S. BLM also granted nearly $26 million to local BLM chapters and other social justice groups across the country, which don't mean a whole lot because there was news articles where other people who were in charge of the various BLM chapters was also stealing money. Anyway, notable recipients include the Trayvon Martin Foundation, which received $200,000 from BLM, and the George Floyd Memorial Foundation, which also received $200,000. BLM closed out June 2021 with net assets of $41.9 million, $32 million of which were investments, quote unquote, in publicly traded securities, the 990 shows. Now, let me come out of this for a second. Okay. I am so past my, why y'all ain't tell me I was past I ain't on my A game. I was past my commercial break. So let's go to this commercial break. And then I'm going to break down something real interesting. Be right back.
Hey y'all, Donnie Keith here, aka Auntie Peaches from the Aunties Radio Show, also on The Voice of Reason. I'm here to say that ever since my man started taking A game, he's been on top of his A game. What? When I say A game, I mean his A game. He's more focused. He's definitely working out more. His attitude is better. And he's not complaining of all over body aches due to poor blood circulation, because A-Game provides great blood circulation, if you know what I mean, ladies. That blood circulation. Sometimes I have to hide the A-Game in the bushes when I'm out walking the dog just because I want some sleep, if you know what I mean, ladies. Stay on top of your A-Game, fellas. Get your A-Game.
I don't know how I was going to miss Donnie, so she can tell us about how she putting A-Game in the bushes. Thank you. Ish G said we need to find a way to pull up on these hyenas and get that money repurposed and allocated correctly. This is why we created the petition. Okay? Which I'm so happy about. Thank you for everyone who signed the petition. But we need so many more signatures. But I'm so happy for the signatures that we got. So I'm hoping that anyone who has not signed or shared, please do so. One of my mods, can you please get the grab the link out of the description box for the petition and post it here so that everyone can be can access the link to the petition. I thank you kindly for it. The Trayvon Martin and the George Floyd Memorial Foundation only received $200,000 each. Baby, that ain't even a half a meal. That's not even $500,000. That is not even $500,000. That is nothing burgers. Thank you so much, C. That is nothing burgers. Don't let that six figures get you riled up and get you caught up. That is combined not even $500,000. And in the grand scheme of things, that is not enough for a foundation that's actually doing something to do what it's designed to do. You didn't even give each foundation $1 million apiece, but you gave your baby daddy $1 million. You giving people that's not on the payroll no more hundreds of thousands of dollars. You giving your brother almost $1 million. You giving everybody money. You buying homes. You charging, for charter flights, blah, blah, blah. You doing a whole lot. And the men whose names and whose deaths allow you to even have a Black Lives Matter organization that was taken seriously enough to take in that amount of money. You give those organizations a mere $200,000 a piece. Nothing. In the grand scheme, and when we take a look at how much money you actually brought in, that's not nothing, y'all. It's not. It is a gross misappropriation of funds, because if they gave those organizations only $200,000 apiece, then how much less money was allocated towards starting or supporting any other program meant to help any part of any Black community anywhere? I'm not even trying to be specific about it and saying which one you needed to help or which one you didn't need to help. All I'm saying is you didn't help nobody. And when did you give that $200,000 to those two foundations? And did you give them any more than that? That's supposed to be something that you give all the time. Either give them a substantial lump sum at once, or continue to give them a particular amount of money every year. Every year, they're slated to receive X amount from Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. But the Black men whose blood fertilized the soil that your money grew out of, you don't do anything. This organization does nothing to support Black men and Black boys. Done nothing for anybody in any Black neighborhood or Black community in any part of the United States about educational support. What about fighting illiteracy issues? What about addressing unemployment issues? What about addressing homelessness? They didn't even attempt to address it. How could you have addressed that stuff, Crimson Cure? You got more than 90 million. We just harping on the 90 million because that was 2020, 2021 when y'all had that. They raked in more than $90 million. That raked in more than $90 million. You could have gone to different communities. It don't take that much money to buy a plot of land and put housing on that land. It could have been halfway houses. It could have been subsidy houses. It could have been any type of housing to help the homeless population in cities that have a high homeless population. That's all you would have had to do. Or supported an organization that already does that and that's struggling for funds. You don't have to make them up. But what you can do is your due diligence and your research in different parts of the United States. LA has a horrible homeless problem. So does Chicago. Chicago has a horrific homeless problem. If you live in Chicago and you go over by Roosevelt and I-90-94, there is an entire tent city over there. Am I lying or not? For those of you from Chicago, then y'all know what I'm talking about. Ride through Roosevelt where it crossed the expressway, the 9094. Whole tent cities over there. They moves them in and out of Grant Park and Millennium Park. But it be tents over there. Anywhere where there is a large underpass. All up and down Lakeshore Drive. Right under them overpasses. It be too many tents over there. The homeless people be going to, when it get warm, they be going to the where the beaches that have the little showers be on. They go over there and wash. I hear San Francisco's homeless problem is out of control. I hear New York City homeless problem is out of control. What contributes to these things? Nobody thought about building rehabilitation facilities to address Black people's mental illnesses, Black men specifically, Black men's mental illnesses, Black men's addictions. There are men out here that are addicted because they have mental issues. And so they're self-medicating. Why don't we have any addressing of any of that? Are you going to cure every single case? No. But what you can do is at least make a value. Oh my God. Thank Johnny. This is the sponsor for the show. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Johnny. So just a small gift for a beautiful Black woman speaking the truth. I'm humbled. And I humbly accept your gift. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is well appreciated. So much. But no addressing of any of these issues in anybody's community. Why not? 90 million so you can live great. So your baby daddy can live good. So your little baby can have a birthday party in a mansion. Good for you. Did you invite Philando Castile's little girl to that birthday party in a mansion? I bet you didn't. Not even substantial amounts of money to the individual families of the victims. Not even that. Did you reach out to each individual? Did you pay for lawyers for them to really fight these cases? Where's the funding for that? Let's bring it back out of the larger Black community. Let's bring it back to the families of the men who were killed. Did Black Lives Matter pay for legal teams, top-notch legal teams, put these lawyers on retainer? Assign a team of lawyers for this case, a team of lawyers for that case, a team of lawyers for this case. and have them fight the police departments properly, competently. Thank you, greatness. Said the money could have been invested in black-owned businesses during the shutdown. BLM was a DNC money laundering scheme. DNC wasn't raising enough. Thank you, Monte. So thank you, Kendra, for using your ability to articulate the sentiment of those with little representation. Keep building. Thank you so much. This is what I'm talking about. Did you pay for legal fees, the legal proceedings? Or did these families still have to figure it out themselves? Or just not continue because they don't know how to continue, or because they don't have the funds to continue? You helped not at all in any significant way the black community or black men and boys specifically. Nothing for the actual betterment of any black community anywhere in any significant measurable capacity. And here's the other thing. Here's the thing that really does it. Here's the thing that really does it. I want to touch on something. I'm going to share my screen one more time. And what I'm going to do is skip down to towards the end. Okay? And I'm going to read just this last little part. It says, there is a long-standing legacy of mistrust and doubt about how black people spend their money, like Ronald Reagan's welfare queen moniker, a racist trope he peddled to gain the power of the presidency, Black Lives Matter said. The right has taken up this cause, hoping to sow mistrust in our work via their media outlets. Now, that was someone from Black Lives Matter saying that. And here's what I want to say to that. There's a reason why black people don't trust, because y'all do stuff like that. Don't try to invoke our anger over knowledge that that the white media does divide and conquer black people. Don't try to use that right now, because right now, that's not what's happening. We're not talking about all the days past. We're talking about what you're doing today. We're talking about the money you stole from the black community today. And not how white media outlets are mischaracterizing you. Because they're not. The tax papers aren't lying. The deeds to the houses aren't lying. These are matters of public record. And this is why the morale of black people is so low, because we experience hopelessness due to the theft, the thievery, the stealing. Because black people betray one another when money and wealth come into the picture. We lose hope in any form of help, even that stem from people that supposedly looks like us, because we can't trust it and we do not believe. We don't believe in the motives, even when it's simple stuff. When we brought out the Black Manosphere magazine, nobody believed that we had done so from an altruistic standpoint of simply wanting to help black men in the Black Manosphere understand and articulate a lot of the issues that they face, and to help the larger community of black men understand things. People was like, oh, it's a money grab. It was only $1. And really, we was trying to get it to not be that. There was never any money grab. That was the furthest thing from anybody's mind. But this is the jadedness that we have as a community, because so many vultures come to our community to eat off of our carcasses and feed off of our pain. So when we come up with ideas that are designed to help and only to help, then we're very skeptical. We're very cynical about those things. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely. Thank you to Renzo. Said Vivica said KS's death was karma. In the same month, Netflix released Our Father about a doctor illegally impregnating white women, and they're mad he basically got to walk like a free man. Now our people going through this. Yeah. But this is how we're jaded, because we've been betrayed. We've been betrayed too many times. So now when there are those of us who come simply with something in our hand to help, it's looked at with suspicion. We're suspicious about it. And this is one reason why Black people only like the poor righteous teacher, because we know if you come to help us but you stay broke, ain't no way you betraying us for money. Dr. Michelle, don't I know it? She said, and if your A-game package is delayed by the Postal Service, they're quick to think it's a scam. It's unbelievable how many people we've had to show a different way of thinking. But there is hope. And there definitely is. This is why we do what we do. This is why I do it. This is why you do it, Dr. Michelle. This is why Father's Time does it. This is why Dr. Sherry does it. This is why we all do this stuff. Even though we understand the jaded mindset. Don't y'all start with FDMG is coming. Don't y'all start with that. Do not get me started with FDMG. We are not going to talk about FDMG over here. Y'all leave that alone. But anyway, it's right. It can be a little late and people, oh man, you know what I'm saying? And why do we think that? Why do we think that? Because A-Game is a Black owned company. It is Black ran, and we don't trust each other. We just don't trust each other to do the right thing, especially when money change hands. We just don't trust each other like that. We almost rather trust the white man. We almost could trust him. But we don't trust our own because of stuff like this. Black Lives Matter, you get money and then your eyes get big as saucers and then you betray. But we gotta get out of that mindset where we're always gonna betray one another. And the reason why it's so important for us to get out of that mindset is because if we continue to have the mindset that none of us are trustworthy, then we can't implement the 10 life values. We can't, because that spiritual component will always be undergirded with corruption and suspicion. And we actually can't have suspicion. That's actually one of the things in Islam that we can't have. It's haram. It's prohibited to have suspicion of your brother and sister. It's prohibited to approach people without no cause You don't have no cause for the suspicion. You just suspicious. It's actually prohibited. We can't do that. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Papa Ditas. Said, thank you for stating this. I noticed most black people that supported BLM are silent now. Never trusted them from jump. Sorrow was a warning sign. He was. We cannot approach each other with suspicion when there's no cause for the suspicion. We got to not apply that to one another, because we apply that with something so simple as purchasing a game, but you buy stuff on Amazon and you ain't never talked to them people. You just hope they send your stuff on time. But you will spend hundreds of dollars on Amazon and don't blink an eye. And then if they don't deliver your stuff, you ain't somewhere trying to figure out Jeff Bezos's phone number. You just try to do your best with the shipping, and if they don't send it, you just put in for your what they call it, refund, and then you go ahead back. Girl, I guess they ain't have it. You don't question white men. You don't question white folk. Monte Mojica, thank you so much again. Said Black Against Empire is a good book by Joshua Bloom. The book describes the genesis, rise, and decline of the party. Any black organization serious about revolution should have a comprehensive library that includes this book. Thank you so much. So that you go to Amazon and you spend about $300-400 and you don't say nothing because it's stuff that you want, and you are not calling Jeff Bezos. Okay, and none of his people. If they don't send you that stuff, or that stuff is in back order, you just get your little refund and you keep on going. You're gonna do nothing but order it again from the same seller. Let your A game be 2 seconds late and then you want to call the CEO. See, that don't work like that. And I'm not talking about any particular individual. I'm talking about the mindset that we collectively have. We got to get away from that. And I know it's difficult, but we can do it. It is possible. It is possible. A game is definitely good, TD tell him, for a man trying to get back in shape after having been out of the gym, because A game does support a man's vitality, his strength, right? His energy. You need all three of them, your vitality, your strength, your energy, to even attack the gym, and also your libido, right? So definitely A game would be ideal for men who are looking to get back into the gym, looking to get back their health, because it's meant to address a man's overall health in the first place. Okay? It's meant to address all of those things for men, for his overall health, so that you do have the energy to hit it in the gym like you really want to. You know what I mean? So you want to lift them weights, you ain't lifted them, in a minute. You got your little pandemic pot belly, going on. This A game help get you right, so you can get rid of your pandemic pot belly. Okay? So how do you help get rid of your pandemic pot belly? You help get rid of your pandemic pot belly by hitting the link at the top of the chat and becoming part of the A Game family by clicking the link at agameherbal.com. And don't forget to get your 10% discount by using the code Kendra10 at checkout. Y'all know you be having a pandemic pot belly. We gonna A Game help you get rid of that. So you could do all the power crunchies and running and weightlifting and all of that stuff that y'all men do, that I'm so jealous of, because y'all got a surplus of testosterone, so y'all can build muscle and burn fat faster than we can, but we ain't gonna talk about all that. Right. So if you want to be part of the A Game family, just hit the link at the top of the chat. Once again, agameherbal.com, and Don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10, and you will get this box of awesomeness delivered to you ASAP. A-Game is a wonderful product, all natural product. It doesn't have any filters. It doesn't have any artificial ingredients or anything like that. Okay. No inert ingredients either. So please don't sell yourself short. Please help yourself by getting this box to help you on that health journey. Okay. All right. I want to thank everyone for coming through. I want to thank everyone for their extremely generous contributions today. I want to thank everyone for their likes, for their shares, for their views, for hitting the link for the petition and your signature. And a very, very, very warm thank you to my support team, Father's Time, Dr. Michelle, Dr. Sherry, for everyone who supports me. Without their support, I cannot bring you this content. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.